First Contact and the Galactic Threat. The quantum engines of the UES hulking hummed with barely contained power as it prepared for humanity's first faster-than-light jump. Captain Zara Chen stood on the bridge, her dark eyes fixed on the swirling vortex of energy forming before the ship. After decades of theoretical work and near misses, humanity was about to take its first step into the broader galaxy. "All systems green, Captain," reported Lieutenant Aidan O'Malley, his fingers dancing over holographic controls. "We're ready to initiate the jump on your command." Zara took a deep breath, feeling the weight of history on her shoulders. Initiate jump sequence. The vortex expanded, enveloping the hulking in a cocoon of impossible light. For a moment, reality itself seemed to stretch and twist. Then, with a flash that outshone the stars, they were through. Jump successful. Aidan whooped, his freckled face split by a wide grin. "We've done it, Captain. We're..." His voice trailed off as the main view screen flickered to life, where they had expected to see the distant red dwarf of Proxima Centauri, an armada of sleek, otherworldly vessels hung in space. "Battle stations," Zara ordered, her voice calm despite the sudden spike of adrenaline. "Shields up, weapons on standby. Let's not start a war on our first day out." Before they could take any further action, a beam of light lanced out from the largest alien ship, enveloping the hulking in a soft, golden glow. "Captain," called out Science Officer Dr. Yuki Tanaka, her eyes wide with wonder. It's not a weapon. It's a communication array. They're reaching out to us." The bridge crew watched in awe as the golden light coalesced into a shimmering holographic form. The being before them was vaguely humanoid, with iridescent skin that seemed to shift and flow like liquid metal. 4 arms extended from its torso, each ending in delicate, multi-jointed fingers. "Greetings, humans of Earth," the alien spoke, its voice a melodious blend of tones that seemed to bypass their ears and resonate directly in their minds. "I am Ambassador Zilax of the Zarquin Collective. We have been waiting for you." Zara stepped forward, her training kicking in despite the surreal nature of the situation. "I am Captain Zara Chen of the United Earth Ship Hawking. We come in peace and in the spirit of exploration. How is it that you know of us, and why have you been waiting?" Zilax's form rippled, conveying a sense of urgency. "We have been monitoring your civilization for some time, hoping you would achieve faster-than-light travel. We need your help, Captain Chen. All life in the galaxy needs your help." Over the next few hours, as the Hawking was escorted to a massive space station hidden behind the dark side of Pluto, Zilax revealed a truth more terrifying than anything humanity had imagined in its wildest science fiction. The galaxy was under siege by entities the Zarquin called the Void Eaters, cosmic horrors that consumed entire star systems, leaving nothing but empty, dead space in their wake. The Zarquin, once a thriving civilization spanning thousands of worlds, had been reduced to a fraction of their former glory, fleeing ahead of the encroaching darkness. "But why us?" Zara asked as they stood in a vast chamber aboard the Zarquin station, surrounded by holographic displays of devastated worlds. "We've only just achieved FTL. Surely there are more advanced civilizations that could help." Zilax's skin darkened, a sign Zara was beginning to recognize as sadness. "You are the last, Captain Chen. The last species in our galaxy to achieve spaceflight before the Void Eaters arrived. All others have fallen or fled to other galaxies, but in you we see a spark, a potential that might just save us all." Dr. Tanaka stepped forward, her scientific curiosity overriding her fear. "What kind of potential? What makes humans special?" The answer came not from Zilax, but from another Zarquin, a being introduced as Kexley, their lead scientist. "Your adaptability, your creativity in the face of adversity. But more than that, the unique structure of your minds." Kexley manipulated the holographic display, zooming in on a human brain. "Your species possesses a neural architecture we've never seen before. It allows for connections and intuitive leaps that our most advanced AIs can't replicate. We believe this might be the key to defeating the Void Eaters. Zara felt a chill run down her spine. How long do we have? Before these Void Eaters reach Earth, Xilax and Kexley exchanged a look that needed no translation. At their current rate of expansion, Kexley said, less than 5 of your Earth years. The next few days were a whirlwind of activity. As the Hawking sent word back to Earth, preparations began for the biggest revelation in human history. The existence of alien life, the threat to all existence, and the desperate plea for help. It was almost too much to process. World leaders convened in emergency sessions. Scientists pored over the data shared by the Zarquin, and all across Earth, people looked to the stars with a mix of wonder and terror. Aboard the Zarquin station, now dubbed Nexus by the human crew, Zara found herself working closely with Xilax and Kexley. Despite the dire circumstances, she couldn't help but be fascinated by their alien allies. Your ship, Kexley mused as they examined schematics of the Hawking. It's remarkably efficient for a first attempt at FTL. How did you solve the problem of quantum field stabilization? Zara smiled, a hint of pride in her voice. We didn't, not entirely. Instead, we found a way to work with the instability, using it to boost our power output. It was a bit of a crazy idea, but it worked. Xilax's skin rippled with what Zara was learning to recognize as amusement. Crazy ideas that work, that seems to be a human specialty. Perhaps that's exactly what we need. As the days turned into weeks, a plan began to take shape. The Zarquin had vast knowledge and advanced technology, but they lacked the intuitive leaps that humans seem to make almost by nature. Together, they might just have a chance against the cosmic horror bearing down on them. But not everyone was convinced. Back on Earth, debates raged. Some saw the alliance with the Zarquin as humanity's best hope for survival. Others feared it was a trap, a ploy by advanced aliens to subjugate Earth. Zara found herself caught in the middle, testifying before the newly formed United Earth Defense Council. I've seen the evidence with my own eyes, she insisted. The threat is real, and the Zarquin are our best hope of survival. But more than that, they need us. Our way of thinking, our adaptability, it's something they've never seen before. In the end, pragmatism won out over fear. Earth mobilized on a scale never before seen in human history. Factories retooled to produce advanced alloys and quantum computers. The best and brightest minds were recruited into a crashed program to understand and improve upon Zarquin technology. And at the heart of it all, a radical plan began to take shape. Dr. Tanaka, working with a team of human and Zarquin scientists, proposed what they called the Nexus Protocol, a melding of human intuition and alien technology that might just be able to turn the tide against the Void Eaters. It's insane, Kexley exclaimed when the proposal was first presented. Linking human minds directly to our quantum networks. The energy requirements alone would be astronomical. Dr. Tanaka finished. Yes, we know. But if it works, we'll have a weapon the Void Eaters can't anticipate or counter. A human mind, augmented by your technology, thinking at the speed of light across entire star systems. Xilax's skin shimmered with a mix of emotions Zara couldn't quite decipher. It's dangerous, untested. We don't know what effect it might have on human consciousness. Zara stepped forward, her decision already made. We're out of options and nearly out of time. I volunteer to be the first test subject. As the others argued and debated, Zara looked out at the star-studded expanse visible through the station's viewports. Somewhere out there, an unthinkable horror was consuming entire worlds. But here, in this nexus of human and alien cooperation, a spark of hope was being kindled. Whatever came next, humanity would face it head-on, with all the creativity, courage, and sheer audacity that had brought them to the stars in the first place. The Void Eaters were coming, but humanity was ready to fight back. As preparations for the Nexus Protocol entered their final stages, tensions on Earth reached a fever pitch. News of the impending test had leaked, sparking protests and counter-protests across the globe. Some hailed Zara as a hero, willing to risk everything to save humanity. Others decried her as a traitor, too eager to surrender human autonomy to alien influence. Aboard the Nexus station, Zara tried to tune out the noise. She focused instead on the grueling training regimen designed to prepare her mind and body for the unprecedented fusion of human consciousness and alien technology. "Your neural plasticity is remarkable," Kexley observed during one particularly intense session. The Zarquin scientist's multifaceted eyes gleamed with a mix of curiosity and concern. "But I must ask again, Zara, are you certain about this? The risks are incalculable." Zara managed a tired smile. "About as certain as I can be when facing the unknown. But we're out of alternatives, aren't we?" The day of the test arrived with little fanfare. As Zara was led to the chamber housing the Nexus protocol apparatus, she caught sight of Earth through a viewport, a beautiful blue marble, oblivious to the cosmic horror bearing down upon it. The sight steeled her resolve. Dr. Tanaka's voice crackled over the intercom as Zara was secured into the sleek alien machinery. "Remember your training, Zara. The neural link will feel overwhelming at first, but stay focused on your core self. You're our anchor in the data stream." Zara took a deep breath, trying to calm her racing heart. "Understood. I'm ready." The world exploded into light and sensation as the Nexus protocol activated. Zara felt her consciousness expand, racing along quantum pathways at impossible speeds. She was everywhere and nowhere, her thoughts echoing across star systems in the blink of an eye. For a terrifying moment, she feared she would lose herself in the vast ocean of data. But then she remembered her training, focusing on the steady rhythm of her own heartbeat. Gradually, she began to make sense of the cosmic tapestry unfolding before her. It's working," she managed to gasp out, her physical voice a whisper compared to the torrent of information flowing through her mind. "I can see them, the Void Eaters. Oh God, they're beautiful in a terrifying way." Through the Nexus, Zara could perceive the eldritch entities in ways no human, no Zarquin even ever had before. She saw the fractal patterns of their existence, the way they warped space-time around them. And in that moment of clarity, she understood their weakness. "They're not invincible," she declared, her voice growing stronger. "They're bound by laws we haven't understood before, but now I can see how to counter them." As Zara began to outline a strategy that melded human intuition with Zarquin technology, a spark of hope ignited across two civilizations. The Void Eaters were still coming, yes, but for the first time since this cosmic chess game began, humanity and the Zarquin had a move the enemy couldn't predict. The battle for existence itself was about to begin, with Zara, augmented, connected, yet undeniably human, at its center. Whatever the outcome, the universe would never be the same again. The knowledge Zara gained through the Nexus protocol was revolutionary, but implementing it would require unprecedented cooperation between humanity and the Zarquin. As she emerged from the neural link, exhausted but exhilarated, Zara knew the real work was just beginning. "We need to move quickly," she urged the assembled team of human and Zarquin scientists. "The Void Eaters are closer than we thought, and they're adapting. They sense the change in our defensive posture." Dr. Tanaka nodded grimly. "I'll coordinate with Earth's governments. We'll need every scrap of computing power and energy production we can muster." Kexley's tendrils writhed with nervous energy. "I shall convene the High Council. Our fleet stands ready, but this new strategy will require significant reconfiguration." As the hours ticked by, Zara found herself at the center of a whirlwind of activity. She translated the cosmic insights gained through the Nexus into practical steps, bridging the gap between human and Zarquin understanding. It was grueling work, but the stakes couldn't be higher. Factories across Earth were retooled to produce components for a vast network of quantum entanglement devices. Zarquin ships began to take up strategic positions throughout the solar system, their advanced sensors calibrated to detect the slightest ripple in space-time. But even as hope grew, so did opposition. Radical groups, fearful of alien influence, launched attacks on key facilities. Conspiracy theories spread like wildfire, claiming the Void Eaters were a hoax designed to enslave humanity. Zara knew they needed a way to unite people, to make them understand the true nature of the threat. An idea began to form, risky, potentially devastating, but perhaps necessary. "We need to show them," she declared during an emergency meeting with world leaders. "Not just tell them, but let them experience a fraction of what I saw through the Nexus. It's the only way to cut through the fear and misinformation." The proposal was met with shock and skepticism. "You're talking about a global neural broadcast," the Secretary-General of the UN asked, incredulous. "The technical challenges alone, not to mention the ethical implications." "I understand the risks," Zara countered, her voice firm. "But we're running out of time. If we can't unite, we've already lost." After heated debate, a compromise was reached. A filtered version of Zara's Nexus experience would be broadcast, with safeguards in place to prevent sensory overload. It was a gamble, but one they had to take. As the countdown to the broadcast began, Zara felt the weight of two civilizations on her shoulders. She took a deep breath, centering herself as she had learned to do within the cosmic data stream. "Ready for neural uplink," she said, her voice steady despite the butterflies in her stomach. The broadcast began, and across the globe, humans gasped as one. For a brief moment, they glimpsed the vast tapestry of the cosmos, the terrifying beauty of the Void Eaters, and the fragile thread of hope Zara had discovered. As the vision faded, a stunned silence fell over the earth. Then, slowly but surely, a wave of understanding and determination began to spread. The petty divisions of the past seemed insignificant in the face of cosmic annihilation. Humanity was ready to stand united, not just with each other, but with their unlikely alien allies. In orbit, aboard the Zarquin flagship, Kexley observed the change sweeping across the planet below. "Remarkable," the alien scientist mused. "In the face of extinction, your species finds unity. Perhaps there is hope for us all." Zara allowed herself a small smile. The real battle was yet to come, but for the first time since learning of the Void Eaters, she felt genuine optimism. Humanity had faced extinction before, from its own actions, from cosmic accidents, but never with such clarity of purpose. As reports flooded in of volunteers mobilizing across the globe, of nations pooling resources, of a new era of cooperation dawning, Zara turned her gaze to the stars. Out there in the inky blackness, the Void Eaters were coming. But now finally, humanity was ready to fight back. The final countdown had begun. The fate of not one, but two civilizations hung in the balance. And at the center of it all stood Zara, no longer just human, not quite alien, but a bridge between worlds and perhaps the key to survival itself. As the united forces of Earth and the Zarquin raced against time to implement Zora's strategy, the first tendrils of the Void Eaters began to breach the outer reaches of the solar system. Long-range sensors detected distortions in space-time, spreading like cracks in reality itself. Zara, now permanently connected to a mobile version of the Nexus protocol, served as the linchpin of the defense effort. Her enhanced consciousness allowed her to coordinate the complex dance of human and alien technology with unprecedented efficiency. But the constant neural link was taking its toll. "Your synaptic patterns are showing signs of strain," Dr. Tanaka warned during a rare moment of downtime. "We need to consider rotating you out, letting someone else take over." Zara shook her head, wincing at the constant buzz of information flowing through her mind. "There's no time to train anyone else. I can handle it." As if to punctuate her words, an alarm blared through the command center. A holographic display flickered to life, showing a massive Void Eater manifestation near Jupiter. "It's larger than anything we've encountered before," Kexley observed, multifaceted eyes widening in alarm. Zara's mind raced, processing the incoming data at superhuman speeds. They're probing our defenses, she realized. This is just the vanguard. She issued a flurry of commands, redirecting Zarquin ships and activating the newly constructed quantum entanglement network. The air crackled with tension as everyone watched the unfolding battle. The Void Eater lashed out with tendrils of unreality, warping space around Jupiter's largest moons. But this time, humanity was ready. Guided by Zara's insights, the combined fleet struck back with weapons that targeted the entity's quantum structure. For a moment, it seemed like they might push it back. Then, with a soundless roar that echoed through subspace, the Void Eater split into multiple smaller entities. "It's adapting," Zara cried out, her voice strained. We need to. Her words trailed off as she collapsed, overwhelmed by the neural feedback. As medics rushed to her side, chaos erupted in the command center. "We've lost our main tactical advantage," someone shouted. "What do we do now?" In the days that followed, humanity fought with desperate courage against the encroaching Void Eaters. The Zarquin unleashed a full might of their advanced technology, but without Zara's unique ability to predict and counter the enemy's moves, they were slowly losing ground. Earth itself became a fortress, its cities transformed into glittering bastions of resistance. The planet's greatest minds worked around the clock, trying to unlock the secrets Zara had glimpsed through the Nexus. As the situation grew increasingly dire, Dr. Tanaka made a radical proposal. "We need to send a team into Zara's mindscape," she explained to a skeptical group of leaders. "The knowledge we need is locked in her subconscious. If we can navigate her neural pathways, we might be able to access it." The risks were enormous, but with Void Eaters now manifesting in Earth's orbit, they were out of options. A team was hastily assembled: Dr. Tanaka herself, a skilled human telepath named Maya, and a Zarquin neural specialist called Vexnor. As the team prepared to dive into Zara's mind, a massive Void Eater began to materialize over the Atlantic Ocean. Its presence warped gravity itself, causing devastating tidal waves and storms. "If we fail," Dr. Tanaka said grimly as she settled into the neural interface chair, "there won't be much of a world to come back to." The journey into Zara's mindscape was like nothing they had experienced before. Her consciousness, augmented by the Nexus protocol, had become a vast, abstract landscape of data and emotion. Fragments of human memory collided with alien vistas and cosmic insights too profound for normal minds to grasp. "We need to find her core self," Maya urged as they navigated the chaotic mental terrain, the part of her that's still anchored to her human identity. As they pushed deeper, they encountered fierce resistance. Zara's mind, instinctively protecting itself, manifested defenses in the form of nightmarish guardians and labyrinthine obstacles. Outside in the physical world, the battle raged on. The combined fleet fought valiantly against the Void Eaters, but more of the cosmic horrors were manifesting every hour. Humanity's greatest cities fell one by one, their populations evacuated to underground bunkers. Just when all seemed lost, the mental exploration team found what they were looking for. At the heart of the swirling maelstrom of Zara's consciousness, they discovered a quiet oasis, a mental representation of the small apartment where she had grown up. There, they found Zara's core self, curled up and overwhelmed by the weight of cosmic knowledge. With gentle coaxing, they helped her reassemble her fragmented psyche. As Zara's mind reintegrated, the full scope of the knowledge she had gained through the Nexus snapped into focus. She saw not just the Void Eater's weaknesses, but the very nature of their existence, and with that understanding came a solution so profound it defied conventional physics. In the physical world, Zara's eyes snapped open. She sat up with a gasp, her mind clear and focused for the first time in weeks. "I know what we need to do," she declared. As Dr. Tanaka and the others regained consciousness, Zara outlined her plan. It was audacious, requiring a level of cooperation between humans, Zarquin, and technology that had never been achieved before. "We can't simply destroy the Void Eaters," she explained. They're as much a part of the cosmic fabric as we are, but we can redirect them. Shift their consciousness into a parallel brain of reality where they can exist without threatening other life. The next hours were a blur of frantic activity. As the Void Eaters closed in on Earth's last defenses, Zara worked with human and Zarquin scientists to reconfigure the global quantum entanglement network. The plan required perfect timing and synchronization. Every particle accelerator, every power plant, every Zarquin ship would need to act in concert, creating a precisely tuned field of energy that would ripple across space-time itself. As the final preparations were made, Zara stood before a joint assembly of human and Zarquin leaders. The weight of two civilizations rested on her next words. "What we're about to attempt has never been done before," she said, her voice steady despite the enormity of the moment. "It may fail. It may have consequences we can't foresee, but it's our last best hope." She took a deep breath, looking out at the faces of those who had fought so hard to reach this point. "Whatever happens next, know that we faced this threat together. We didn't surrender to fear or turn on each other. We stood united, human and Zarquin alike." With a nod to Dr. Tanaka, Zara activated the neural link one final time. As her consciousness expanded, encompassing the entire network, she felt the presence of every human and Zarquin connected to the system. For a brief, transcendent moment, two species thought and acted as one. The power of their combined will, channeled through technology beyond imagination, reached out across the cosmos. Reality itself seemed to shudder. The Void Eaters, poised to deliver the killing blow to Earth, suddenly found themselves caught in a web of energy beyond their comprehension. There was a soundless explosion of light and color that rippled across the solar system. For a heartbeat, every human and Zarquin felt themselves stretched across multiple realities, aware of infinite possibilities. Then, as suddenly as it began, it was over. The Void Eaters were gone, shunted into a parallel plane of existence where they could thrive without threatening other life. As cheers erupted across the Earth and the Zarquin fleet, Zara slowly disconnected from the neural link. She felt drained, but also filled with a profound sense of accomplishment and hope. The threat was over, but the adventure was just beginning. Humanity had taken its first real steps into a larger, stranger universe. With the Zarquin as allies and the knowledge gained through the Nexus, the potential for exploration and discovery was limitless. As Zara looked out at the stars, no longer threatening but full of promise, she smiled. Whatever challenges lay ahead, she knew that together, they could face anything the cosmos might throw at them. As the dust settled on humanity's greatest triumph, the real work of rebuilding and moving forward began. The alliance between humans and Zarquin, forged in the crucible of existential threat, now faced the test of peacetime cooperation. Zara found herself at the center of this new era, a bridge between two species and a symbol of what they could accomplish together. But the role came with its own challenges. "You've become more than just human," Dr. Tanaka observed during one of their regular checkups. "The neural changes from the Nexus are permanent. We're in uncharted territory here." Zara nodded, feeling the constant hum of enhanced consciousness in her mind. "I know. Sometimes I wonder if I'm still me, or if I've become something else." As if in answer to her doubts, a message arrived from her old neighborhood back on Earth. The community she'd grown up in was struggling to rebuild, and they were asking for her help. It was a reminder that no matter how much she'd changed, her roots remained. In the months that followed, Zara divided her time between groundbreaking scientific work with the Zarquin and hands-on reconstruction efforts on Earth. She found that her unique perspective allowed her to see solutions others missed, whether it was optimizing resource allocation or resolving cultural misunderstandings between humans and their new alien allies. Last, as the dust settled on humanity's greatest triumph, the real work of rebuilding and moving forward began. The alliance between humans and Zarquin, forged in the crucible of existential threat, now faced the test of peacetime cooperation. Zara found herself at the center of this new era, a bridge between two species and a symbol of what they could accomplish together. But the role came with its own challenges. "You've become more than just human," Dr. Tanaka observed during one of their regular checkups. "The neural changes from the Nexus are permanent. We're in uncharted territory here." Zora nodded, feeling the constant hum of enhanced consciousness in her mind. "I know. Sometimes I wonder if I'm still me, or if I've become something else." As if in answer to her doubts, a message arrived from her old neighborhood back on Earth. The community she'd grown up in was struggling to rebuild, and they were asking for her help. It was a reminder that no matter how much she'd changed, her roots remained.